Hello again from Austin, Texas, for another edition of the Texas Builders Report. I'm happy to report that today, June 2nd, 2025, is a very important day in the legislative process because it's the last day of the legislative session, known as sine die, which is Latin for means no more days. And there are no more days in this 89th regular legislative session. It's been a very interesting session, a lot of hard work. I want to lead by thanking all of you for supporting us, contacting your legislators, engaging in the process, because we have a lot to show for it. At least 8 bills that were top priorities of ours have gotten to the finish line and are awaiting signature on the governor's desk. Some bills that were of concern we were able to beat back and keep from passing. And I'm going to get into all these a little bit here in a second. But it's very important to know that this is the number one task of your state home builders association, the Texas Association of Builders, is to engage across the street at the Texas Capitol. It's what we do every 2 years. Been doing this since 1946, and it is the reason that the state association is here. And so I encourage you to stay involved now that we're getting into the interim and the political season will start. It's very important that HomePack continues to engage, that we raise money to support candidates and people that share our views about making sure that homes are attainable in Texas, that the housing affordability challenges are continuing to be addressed. And so it's important that we don't slack off or let our guard down. We need to continue to be engaged going forward on these issues that are so vital to our industry and the future of Texas and housing in Texas. But I'm very pleased to report that the number one priority going into the session, decided by our Government Relations Committee and our leadership, was to defend the legislative gains from the past sessions to protect housing affordability. And I'm proud to report that we did do that. We were able to push back against proposals that would have weakened statutes that are intended to make sure homes continue to remain affordable, that make sure that unnecessary regulations are not placed upon our industry, and other challenges that would have made it more difficult for our members to provide housings for Texans. That was always the first priority going into any legislative session, and I'm proud to report we were able to get that accomplished. Our top offensive priorities, we had 3, and those were all, I'm proud to report, were accomplished. Number 1 was to seek changes to the impact fee statutes found in Chapter 395 of the Local Government Code to provide more transparency, provide more opportunity for interested persons, not only from our industry, but the public at large, to participate, so that these impact fees that go directly to the cost of land and to the cost of housing, when impact fees are either adopted or being proposed to be increased, that there is more opportunity for those that are impacted to participate in that process, and also to try to raise the threshold for adopting or increasing those fees. And that was Senate Bill 1883. Today, this bill is sitting on the governor's desk and hopefully will be signed by him into law very, very soon. Another high priority bill for us, top priority, was House Bill 2559, dealt with the moratorium statute, similarly to try to provide more transparency into the process, raise the threshold before local governments, cities, completely shut down our industry and make the moratorium statutes for commercial and residential line. This bill also passed, is sitting on the governor's desk, and importantly, puts a definite end date on these moratoriums when they're adopted on residential projects, so they don't go on indefinitely. So there's a huge win and very important for our industry, and we are looking forward to the governor signing that into law soon as well. Another issue that has been concerning for our industry is the issue of minimum lot sizes. There were proposals this session deal with minimum lot sizes, both by counties and by cities. I am proud to report that Senate Bill 15, just yesterday, the conference committee report was adopted by the House and the Senate, that creates a 3,000 foot minimum lot size. Is the largest minimum lot size that can be adopted in medium and large cities across the state. So this bill, we do think, will have an impact on trying to get more affordably priced homes on smaller lots built in many of these communities. More to come on all of these. Another high priority for us this session was working on legislation to increase funding for the future water supply. Texas, many parts of the state are facing water shortages, and water challenges are a real impediment to the growth of housing in the state going forward. Senator Charles Perry and Representative Cody Harris worked very hard on this legislation, creating a new permanent fund and a mechanism to allocate billions of dollars a year going forward for water projects, going forward. And that is in Senate Bill 7 and House Joint Resolution 7. HJR 7 will be on the ballot in November, along with the other constitutional amendments to create this fund going forward. Another constitutional amendment that we were very proud to support this session and worked going back to the last session. It did not get across the finish line, but we're proud to report just last week it did, and that is Senate Joint Resolution 59. This will create an almost $1 billion endowment for the Texas State Technical College going forward. Our friends at TSTC do an incredible job training individuals for the workforce in all kinds of fields in the state, but specifically from our interest is for construction-related trades. And this will create a fund for them to be able to increase their campuses, to add to their campuses and expand their footprint across the state going forward. This constitutional amendment will also be on the ballot in November, and is something we will very much be in support of. More on this to come. And finally, I want to mention a couple of other constitutional amendments. Property tax relief. This is something that we're very supportive of because of the impact that taxes have on housing affordability. And the legislature this session took two huge strides to try to decrease that burden. They increased from $100,000 to $140,000 the homestead exemption across the board for school districts. And then for seniors and the disabled, they added another $60,000 to get it up to $200,000. Both of these constitutional amendments will be on the ballot in November as well, and we look forward to supporting them. Finally, one other thing I will add is Senate Bill 783. We worked very hard. This bill will allow the State Energy Conservation Office, when updating or amending the energy codes, to take into account the impact on housing attainability, as well as the payback that these code changes will have moving forward. It creates an advisory committee that includes representatives from our industry, environmental groups, manufacturers, energy utilities, and others. And so we look forward for the implementation of this law going forward that makes sure that any and all code amendments related to energy that are adopted do take into account the impact on housing affordability and the payback as well going forward. Those are just a few of the dozens and dozens of bills that we were supporting that got to the finish line this session and are awaiting signature. We will be working on a legislative session recap book that will be available by the Sunbelt Builders Show in July, the end of July. We will also be having a 89th legislative session briefing in July at the Gaylord Texan at our Sunbelt Builders Show. We hope all of you will be there. That will be an in-depth, couple of hours conversation about the bills that passed and the bills that didn't, as well as some bills that passed that may be a little concerning, and we'll get into details for those as well. But invite you to join us at Sunbelt. We'll also have a video version of that produced after that event, and look forward to sharing that with you as the legislative session wrap up. So until next time, we will see you soon. Thank you.
When you're building a home in Texas, you need a partner you can trust. A partner who ensures quality, strength, and peace of mind. Structure Home Warranty is that partner. Structure Home Warranty offers insurance-backed warranties for new homes and remodels, ensuring that the homes you build and your business is protected. We also provide specialized programs for build-to-rent projects, along with pool warranties and builder's risk insurance. Our fast and fair claims management ensures that when issues arise, we handle them quickly, minimizing disruption to your business. For over 25 years, Structure Home Warranty has been the trusted choice for Texas home builders. Choose Structure Home Warranty and build with confidence. Visit structure.com to learn more about our services and discover why we're the right choice for your business.